When you invest your money in mutual funds, one thing that you should not ignore is the expense ratio of that particular fund. If you see returns of a fund on a business website, the returns that are normally shown are gross returns. So deducting the expense ratio from these gross returns will give you a clearer picture about the returns that you will get on the money that you invest in that fund. Now, what are expense ratios? Well, expense ratios are that percentage that are deducted from your assets by the fund house for managing your funds. Now, the composition of expense ratio has three main categories. First is the management portion, then is the administrative portion, and third one is the distribution portion. Now, management portion refers to the salaries of the fund manager, the team of analysts who work towards investment strategies for investing your funds according to the fundamentals of that particular fund. Administrative expenses refers to the office expenses, the staffing expenses for the fund house, and distribution refers to the advertising promotion that the fund does to attract more investors for investing in a fund. Always remember, if the AUM, the assets under management of a fund, are lower, the expense ratio is on a higher side, and vice versa. When the assets under management go up, the expense ratio reduces. Now, SEBI has prescribed limits beyond which the expense ratios cannot be charged by the fund houses. But even a slightest increase in the percentage of the expense ratio will have great impact on your returns. Correct? So always remember to check expense ratios before deciding on investing in mutual funds. Also remember that funds which are actively managed have expense ratios on a higher side. Funds which are passively managed have lower expense ratios. Correct? But if the expense adjusted returns from a fund are beating inflation, are beating the target of the fund, say if a fund is investing in equity and it is beating the Nifty 500 Nifty index, paying that expense ratio should not be a hindrance to your decision of investing in that fund. What returns you are getting net of expenses is what matters. Check those returns against the target and decide if the returns are good enough. Understood? So just don't go into passive investing or passive investment funds because the expense ratio is low. Check the returns after adjusting these ratios so that you can take the right decision. Thank you.